Thank you all for joining us. Feeling so calm and relaxed here. Dr. Jake again.
I'm Dr. Ruth.
We are so happy to have you joining us for this session on stress. And as you can see, these beautiful instruments that give us the gift of de-stressing, we really enjoy this. And speaking of stress, as stress is the theme of this month, we want you to know there are 3 types of stress that really affect us. There's emotional stress. We went over a lot of that in last month's newsletter. The emotional stress can affect us whether it's just a horrible negative comment at work that just totally held on to it, or someone cut us off in traffic and we're super stressed, or a lot of the different things going on at home, or it can even be just a stressful movie I watched and then I'm scared or I have anxiety from it. A lot of different ways for emotional stress to affect us. Another one that's very common today that we see is toxic stress, and that just means whether it's alcohol, tobacco, illegal, illicit substances. Not only those, there's environmental toxins, pesticides, there's also pharmaceuticals, and even natural supplementation can be overdone and toxic to our systems if not done right. And the last one is physical stress. Concussion is a huge one. Concussion in motor vehicle accident, whiplash. Those are 2 huge ones that studies are showing within like 6 hours of a concussion, you are having leaky gut. So they're just leading to other things. And then if you think about physical stress as well, our body's evolved with the fight or flight complex, right? And we kind of know that if we're stressed or something's threatening us, so we either stand and fight or we run. The problem with that is it really affects our body. And in today's world, we don't have a saber-toothed tiger or a Trixie chasing you down. We have computers at work ticking us off, a missed bill, a spouse or a child frustrating us. All of a sudden we hold on to that, and that affects us like the saber-toothed tiger did. The problem is it's not meant to be chronic. It's only meant to be for that quick 60 seconds where you have to run for your life or fight the tiger. Now, what do we do when we have these chronic stresses?
And it's just interesting the fact that as we were evolving as humans and our genetic DNA was kind of honing down into what it is today, a lot of the stress that was experienced was physical forms of stress in the form of physical injury or physical threat, and just requires more resources from our body to have to handle. There's always going to be stress in our lives. In fact, there's some good stress that allows growth and progression and change in a positive direction is where we want that to go. However, when stress is too much for our body to handle, either mechanically or emotionally or biochemically, then our resources start to get depleted and our body stops being able to handle the added demands that stress creates. Today,
I was going to say, what I like to say is, you can handle that stress now, but if you don't deal with it and you let your body hold on to it, it's only a matter of time before any emotional or toxic stress will manifest itself in the body physically where you're going to have effects. So it's better to deal with it early than late.
And even on top of that, it might feel like very insignificant things set off the pain or the injury or the negative cycle that too much stress can bring about. I had a patient who just kicked off her slipper at the end of the day and herniated her back, but there was lots of other things years prior to that built up that caused a decrease in resiliency to her tissue. So today what we wanted to talk about was kind of from a functional medicine perspective, what sort of things happen to the physical body when there is stress, be that emotional or toxic stress or physical stress. Our body responds in the same way to any sort of stress be it any of those three, as it did when the saber-toothed tiger was running after us. So what happens physiologically when we're under stress is the body prioritizes muscles and our eyes and our sensory system to be able to move quickly, fast, ascertain danger, make decisions quickly, that sort of thing. What happens in lieu of that is our digestive capacities and our digestive secretions start to deplete themselves. So up to 60%. Our digestive secretions can be depleted up to 60% when we're in a state of stress, especially chronically.
Now think about that. Like she said, if it's chronically, and you hear of ulcers typically happening with stomach with high stress levels. That's just one thing can happen. If you think of other digestive issues, that 60% of your enzymes in your stomach acid are not working. You're not absorbing nutrients. You're having nutrient and mineral deficiencies all over your body, and that just leads to multiple other failures in other organ systems like your lungs, your cardiovascular system, your urinary kidney system, right? These are just systems that are affected, but that long-term effect will immediately have effects on your nutrients and your mineral deficiencies that you can't have in your body. The most common one, B vitamins. We need those for so many enzymatic processes in the body, and B vitamins are used to make energy in the body. And for stress, we're not having those. Other ones would be zinc and magnesium.
Yeah, so zinc, magnesium, vitamin C are other vitamins and nutrients that are kind of catalysts for chemical reactions that happen in the body to support the liver, to support the kidneys, to support the cell metabolism of nutrients in our intestines and that sort of thing. So when we're in a lot of stress or have experienced stress, even if it was 15, 20 years ago and now you're in a great state, there's still maybe depletions, especially if you have certain dietary restrictions like vegan or vegetarian or even paleo diet can result in and other forms. So it's important to consult with a functional medicine practitioner to determine if that is a nutrient that you might benefit from supplementing to affect your symptoms and other sorts of pathology that might be coming up for you.
It's always good to come check with us, especially if you feel you're suffering from any one of the three stress levels, the emotional, toxic, or physical that we talked about, or if you're even feeling that your digestion's off, or you're having some constipation or diarrhea, and you think those might be stress related, it's always good to come check either Dr. Ruth or Dr. Jake or another functional medicine practitioner out to see what could be going on, and if just something as simple as nutrient supplementation and dietary changes could easily affect those symptoms that you're feeling and make your life more manageable and optimal. Thank you again for joining us this time, guys.